Alright, this is part 3 of our in-depth horror discussion.
On the original Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984.
Alright, so we left off where Nancy had the phone call from Freddy Krueger and they did the tongue thing through the phone. Now, then she runs downstairs and it's like the front door's locked and her drunk mom's like on the couch there and she's like, yep, I locked the place, yep, I locked.
I barred the windows and shit.
Anyway, so freaking, this is where it goes to the iconic
Johnny Depp death scene. You see this in every horror highlight they do on TV.
Because freaking, so she didn't fall asleep, she's been drinking coffee and everything. So it's
Freddy
like,
has to kill someone, so
Freddy
he decided to kill the other
teenager
on
freaking Johnny
Street.
Depp's character. So then it cuts back to him in his room with his 80s headphones on and the freaking little TV on his bed. And it just like freaking opens up like a suction freaking thing.
Yeah, so it swallows him and then his
bed
TV
swallows him. And
then it swallows another TV.
Oh, yeah,
it makes no sense.
Yeah, there's like a cord coming from the left.
I don't know if it's supposed to be his boombox or whatever, but it looks like it's freaking TV
retarded.
with a cord.
He's got the little mini on his lap, and then a giant one comes from the left. But anyways, it
goes to somewhat the effects it goes to. It's vintage 80s and it goes.
I'm saying the blood, going up and everything.
The amount of blood.
No, it's sort of like freaking. What's the one with Jack Nicholson and the freaking
Shining?
Yeah, no, you know how they do the blood in that, where it's like the tidal wave going through the hallways, the blood. Yeah, I mean it's like effects like that. Back then they were just dope. Anyways.
Yeah, you gotta love the 80s props.
So Johnny Depp's character gets killed.
No, he shoots him up. No, it just reminds me of Scary Movie 1, though, also, like, when he, blows his load.
When he blows his load? Wow.
On Cindy or whatever.
No, so freaking no. So then his Johnny Depp's mom comes in and is like, seeing freaking all this crazy crap going on. And then the cops show up. This is the cop scene, freaking. And they're like, yep, we got another one.
Like, you need a mop instead of a body bag, because there's so much
blood going in there. This is where freaking Nancy calls over there and talks to her dad on the phone.
On the crime scene.
She's like, I know who it is. She's like, I'm gonna go get him, Daddy.
She's like, I got an idea. I'm gonna set my 80s wristwatch and you wake me up soon, huh?
Like, we're gonna synchronize watches and
I'll bring you
in 20 minutes. And he's like, baby.
And her dad just blows her off as just a 17-year-old girl that doesn't know shit.
It's Freddy Krueger, and he's just like, yeah, he's a cop. He's the main lieutenant.
No, so then Nancy starts setting booby traps like it's 90s Home Alone style.
Oh yeah, it cuts to her and it's freaking like MacGyver, and she's like freaking filling up the light bulb with gasoline.
No, then she starts talking to her drunk mom. She tucks her drunk mom.
She's tucking her mommy in, like freaking her mom like whips out the fifth and she's like, you're a good girl, and she whips out the fifth and like tightens it.
Like, so anyway, she's just like, this is my house. Then she's
my house. I have to defend it, just like Home Alone style.
Like,
and then freaking she goes to bed.
So she sets her clock, goes to bed, and she's like, she sets it to 10 movie minutes, so never know in the movie. It could be an hour or it could be like a minute.
Anyway,
like 30
so then she goes to bed, but then it shows her coming downstairs, so it's already kicks into the dream. And then she goes downstairs.
And it turns into the boiler room, and they also show a
she goes
playing
down
poker.
Hold on, before that, she goes down there to freaking find the Freddy Krueger glove, and it's not there wrapped up inside the furnace thing. So then she goes down to the boiler room, and then she runs into Freddy Krueger.
Turns into script convenient filler here, and then he jumps out of the. No, where does he come? Freddy pops up as a jump scare, and then she jumps out the house window. And Freddy's like chasing her. It's pretty tight action.
It cuts like from her falling in the boiler room to like out and into her front yard and back into.
Doesn't really show Robert Englund's character
but
that
it's still
up close.
The dream,
He's supposed to be like a frightening figure. You can't even really focus things on dreams, so it's kind of accurate to like how he shot it. So Wes Craven shot it really
she
nice.
tells her dad to wake up in 20 minutes,
saying.
but then so freaking this dream is going on with her and Freddy, and freaking.
Yeah, where'd you leave off? Nancy's yelling. She's yelling out to the extras, like at the crime scene. They're like, "What? I'm an extra. I can't do shit.
Yeah,
I'm like a Christopher Nolan Dark Knight extra."
No, this is because she freaking grabs Freddy.
They're like, Wes Craven just told me to get in this rent-a-cop
in front of her house
and
in the dream, but then she also pulled him out.
I can't help you.
She pulled him out, so she woke up back in her room with Freddy in her room. And then freaking she runs out and locks him in her room. And then she's yelling at the officers right there.
Blow for blow when a stranger calls.
No, she's yelling at the officers, and the extra cop's like, hey, it's okay. We got everything under control.
Of course she's talking about that still. So anyway, Freddy,
Freddy breaks out the room, and it's a freaking sledgehammer to the balls.
Yeah, he starts running into every single booby trap
that she set for him, and she's like, come on.
And they're going blow for blow when a stranger calls.
It's totally Home Alone style. She's like, come on and get me. No comment?
He's killed like 20 kids.
And he can't handle this little 16-year-old
girl with no socks on in her pajamas.
And curly hair.
Even though she hasn't gone to bed in 7 days, but she's still in her pajamas for some reason.
She's on wake aids, dude. She's got AIDS.
She's on Epis. She's on Epis.
Alright, go.
Shit. No, so then she runs downstairs.
No, Freddy. No, she turns on the light.
She throws like a bottle of poison or some shit.
Oh yeah, she
uses the light.
She turns on the light and blows him up.
Booby
and then she goes downstairs and this is where she comes.
She was whatchamacallit her stash. What's it called? The light bulb bowl.
It's like a crack pipe.
No. You're an idiot.
A vaporizer.
Yeah, vaporizer. A Nigrig vaporizer is what it is. To
blow him up when she turns on the light. Anyways, so then she runs downstairs, and Freddy comes down there, and then she freaking throws the freaking the glass with like alcohol in it and breaks all over him.
It's like a cartoon bottle of poison, basically. But actually, it's just like it's like her mom's like half-gallon like Sam's Club style, like Costco.
It's like the rest of her rum inside a big old jug.
It's like her stash from the basement where she keeps all her liquor.
So Freddy gets all on fire.
Backup winter liquor.
He gets all on fire and freaking she runs upstairs and he chases her.
So then the cops finally run over.
Yeah,
they go downstairs. They're like, go downstairs.
Oh, what's going on?
And then they notice his
and then she's looking at her dad. They see the fire marks.
This is the ending. Bear with us with
going
these
up there.
Statements.
So so the cop and Nancy run up there, her and her dad. They run up there and open up the door like, oh, where's Mommy?
Then
How's
Freddy
Mommy?
just starts
and Freddy's on top
to rape the 40-year-old. Like he's into old bitches now.
Freddy's on top of his mom and then freaking
totally reverse the character.
And the cop doesn't even have a gun. The lieutenant doesn't have a gun. He's in like street clothes. And he just
the mom was hotter than the daughter.
He just smothers her with a blanket. He just smothers Freddy with a blanket.
Tales from the Dark Side outside.
No, and they lift up the blanket, and then it's like a freaking.
Oh, yeah, this is where it gets kind of confusing. So this is our interpretation of the ending.
Freddy's gone, and it's like his dead corpse.
She bashes the chair on him.
Oh,
WWF style. Myers Fiend 25
would love it. Or he did.
Even though he probably didn't even mention it, he was probably zoning out at this part. Like this shit isn't even scary.
Yeah, this ain't scary, dude.
No, so then Freddy disappears under the sheets, and they do 80s
it's like a
effects,
freaking blue, like,
and it floats into like a blue tomb, like Indiana Jones style. It's pretty tight how it looks.
Floating down, and they're like, "Whoa!" The dad and the freaking Nancy. Then
the dad enters the room, and they see.
A cop knocks at the door, and then the dad shuts it.
So they don't even say anything about it. They don't even say that their mom's dead or anything.
Like, what the
and then he just hugs his daughter, and he's like,
she's like, "Hey,
I'm okay." That's what the script says.
And she's like,
they have no other reaction. And he's just like, I'm going to leave you here at the crime scene where your mom just got brutally raped and murdered by Freddy Krueger. It's okay, honey. He shuts the door on her.
And Nancy's like, just go downstairs. I'll be down in 5 minutes. It's like the biggest ending
plot hole up the hole.
It's pretty retired.
Even though it might be a dream because the last ending gets... This is our interpretation here. I'll say
it's kind of confusing.
So not even concerned. So they go downstairs. So no, then she goes face to face with Freddy again, of course. So he creeps out for one last fight, and she's this is when she realizes it's just a dream.
Yeah, she's like, you're not real, Freddy, and he's like,
I'm not real. She finally realizes she can control her dreams, and she forgets them.
She's like, he's not real, and he fades away to the blue, like same Crips.
She never heard about the serial killer who killed 20 kids on Elm Street in the 70s. And then it just cuts to her with like freaking
makeup up the butt, and she's on the front lawn with her mom, like.
Yeah, it cuts to a peachy
and her mom's like sober.
So it goes from a nightmare to a pleasant dream. She's finally passed out, I think. The whole ending, she just passed out. Actually,
yeah, it's still a dream. It's just cut to.
It never even happened.
Here's what it was. It was a nightmare that she was going through. Yeah, she realized that that was she can control it.
Because they talk about how.
So it cut to a happy dream.
Johnny Depp mentions in the movie, he's like, if you think about it that it's a dream, tell yourself that in the dream. So she does that, and she goes to a pleasant, happy dream.
Cuts to a happy dream. But then so her friend, Johnny Depp's character and all of them get picked up and the car rolls up, the 50s red car.
This convertible's awesome. It's and like then it cuts to the Freddy,
it cuts
and they're wearing
Freddy
Nikes
top.
Also.
Yeah, the freaking top Nikes. Comes up and it's like the
very
freaking
popular.
Freddy, like, stripes, blue and red, the navy blue, and then freaking, And then freaking they all get locked in there, and the freaking Freddy's like controlling the car, and like it's all smoking and freaking looking all creepy. And they like haul off, and she's screaming out to mom. She's screaming out to mom.
And
like,
also the
Mom.
mom dep was dope.
Oh yeah,
harm comes
because it cuts
through.
to the mom at the freaking still on the porch, and freaking Freddy comes through the little hole in the window of the front door, and like squeezes
Pulls
through
her
like
in.
a blow up
It's
doll.
like an 80s factor. Yeah, it is like a blow up
It's a blow up doll
that you put in your front seat or something,
gets
so it
sucked
makes it
through the
look
door.
like you have a date.
It's hilarious. All right, final thoughts.
No, so yeah, so so the very ending symbolizes that
It's still a dream, and they're all
that
dead.
subconsciously she's always gonna remember Freddy, and he's that powerful that he'll even enter your good dreams, is what it symbolizes.
Yeah. It's pretty
So
dope.
yeah, that was our interpretation of it.
So
Awesome feel throughout. I love the electro.
Oh
80s
yeah,
music
because
beats,
it'll cut
themes
from the,
different
it'll
throughout.
cut from the Nightmare on
So
Elm Street beat to the freaking
You gotta
80s
watch
thriller
it.
beats. It's pretty tight. Suspense beats.
I'm not even gonna comment on the sequels.
Oh, yeah.
The sequels get kind of more campy as it goes
Dude.
throughout the 80s, because the 80s got more campy as it
When he
goes.
starts riding a skateboard?
Isn't that in like part 4 or something, or part 5?
Freddy's riding a freaking skateboard. In, like,
No,
the
I think the
sewer, like
second
he's,
one's
like
still
he's
pretty
Ninja
tight
Turtle
though,
or something.
where it's just the kid. It doesn't go back to Nancy on the second one, but
It was pretty dope. I definitely like the 80s effects, with the blood. There's a lot of tight ones, especially when he cut himself in the freaking...
Alright, we gotta talk about the remake
green goo,
with it too.
the
So
yellow
then they
goo
did
with the
the
maggots.
2010 remake with Katie Cassidy, 2010 Smoking Hot.
Wow.
That was the best thing about it. No, so
It was alright remake.
realistically, Robert Englund could have done it, but they wanted a younger guy so they could do a whole franchise out of it. Even
Didn't
though
we-
they bombed it because
Didn't we already do a review on
Because-
that? JB
hold up, Robert Englund. No,
Wow.
we haven't done a review
on.
of the remake yet.
So, Robert Englund, 2005.
Robert Englund made this character so iconic, like we were saying. His
Oh, yeah.
face is the
Dude,
fucking character.
no,
It's not
the
like
remake-
Leatherface
no,
where
they
you can
turned him
remake.
into fucking-
That's kind of why it bombed so much.
They turned him into like a
and people
monkey.
like to say, "Oh, they made him a child molester." He's always been a freaking child molester. Like
When
I
you
was
read
saying.
between the lines, if he's a child murderer. No, anyways, no. But in the remake, they make him look like a freaking
It's just that it was 280s and they couldn't actually say that he was a molester.
They make him look like a burned
if it was
monkey.
made in the two.
And freaking,
So,
and he
of
looks
course
like
he was a
Splice.
molester.
He looks like Splice, dude.
Yeah, he looks like Splice, the trailer that
A
played
burned
right
Splice
before it.
monkey.
They cut off his nose. His lines are actually pretty tight.
Looking
In
at
it.
him look retarded.
His voice is alright. But Robert Englund's voice in this was just freaking amazing.
Come back
If
to
you
the
watch
original.
this.
Come back to the original. It's
The more sequels get kind of campy and they give him more cheesy lines, but in this one he isn't that comical. He's really freaking scary.
yeah.
If you're like a kid, I
To give
remember
it to,
watching
the
this shit.
first
I remember
couple-
it was so freaking scary.
Oh yeah, if you're a kid watching
And the
this stuff,
blades
dude,
and everything.
you'd be scaring your balls off when that 80s thriller movie music kicks in. And you're like a little kid. You freaking listen to that. Get you in the mood of being scared as hell, dude.
But anyway, we'll do a review on the remake and definitely the sequel of A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, so leave us comments. Tell us,
Tell
what
us
you
your
thought of
thoughts
it.
about the ending. We definitely
Do a
want to hear
review
your
of
comments.
it. Send it to us or something. Check out our freaking other reviews.
Check out our reviews coming throughout the Halloween horror season.
Oh yeah,
We still have Halloween 78 coming
Halloween
up.
2011. It's gonna be off the hook.
What other movies are we going to be doing?
Uh,
Amityville
Planet
Horror
Terror.
remake 2005. Yeah, Planet Terror for sure.
Zombie movies.
It's
One of the
definitely
good zombie
coming.
movies out there recently.
I just watched the Final Destination 4 again for the first time since the theaters. That was so cheesy and
Yeah.
I couldn't even believe they were like, hey, he had psychic thoughts
Yeah,
throughout.
so I
You could
guess
see it.
in the Final Destination 5 that's gonna come out,
It looks a lot more
they
tighter.
can
You
freaking
could
trade people for freaking. If they kill someone, they get to keep their life or something like that. Some
Yeah,
gay
it's
shit.
gonna be sight, and I heard it's writing for as
Hopefully
a
they
sequel
don't-
coming to it.
hopefully
We
they
definitely
don't-
gotta see that and do a short review coming
Hopefully
this Friday,
it's
bro.
not gay as hell.
All right, peace out. That was a really gay thing
Wow,
to say at the
what
end.
a fag.